Okay, this is KlineStudios, Art Lesson 10. In Art Lesson 9, if you recall, we had done the cube, an analytical line drawing of a cube. What I'm going to show you now is how you can take a cube and create other things with the cube that are more interesting than a cube. As you recall, we did cylinders, and then from that can or cylinder shape, we created vases or things that were cylindrical and more interesting. So in this example, we're going to turn it into a basic house. Okay? So we have our cube is already complete, and now I need to create two peaks for a roof. So let's say I'm going to do, I'll make it on this side here. Do a triangle here and a triangle here. Alright, so I'm going to draw up lightly from my edge, and come down, and there's one triangle off this side, and the other triangle is off this side, and it has to be parallel or match the one in front of it. So that's the angle I want for the next one. Again, to make this line longer than it needs to be, because I don't know where it should end yet. Alright, once it shows up I stop. Now this angle here has to be parallel, so I'm going to take it to this angle here. See that? From this corner to this corner. And forth until it shows up. And I'm going to stop. Now all I have to do to create the rest of the roof is connect the 2 points of the triangles together. If we drew them exactly the same, here and here, then it should match up perfectly when we connect those two dots. Now I have a roof peak. What I don't have is a roof peak that's analytically three-dimensional. So this is on the same plane as this dark line here, right? So this is closer to you, this line. Now, here's the trick. It's going to be dark, but it's going to be darker down here than up here. It's not a major difference, but it's going to be slight. So after I make it darker, I'm going to start to go gradually to the corner. Alright, so it's a slight dark transition there. This line we already did when we had our cube. Now this line is going to be the same shade as this one because it's attached to it, but get dark to match this part here. So it's very slight. So a couple times back and forth. And I'm done. Now this one, it's the same kind of thing as this one, except it's going to be the same shade as this. It gets slightly lighter up here. So a couple times rocking back and forth to the bottom, that's all I need. And then the same slightly darker up here to the lighter, a couple times over and over, as this one goes from slightly dark to the light. And that cube is now a makeshift house. You know, if you were to put a door on it, for instance, the sides of the door straight up and down, parallel with this and this line. The other side of the door, straight up and down, again parallel, 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 parallel. And the shape of the door is basically mimicking this shape here. So that means the top has to be parallel with this line above it. So it's going to be on an angle upward. See that? Now, to make it, I would make this is closer to us, so I'm going to make it darker, but not as dark as this, because this is the closest right here. Back and forth, darker. This is going to be slightly darker than this, because it's closer to us, but not much. Stop. Now this has to fade from this darkness to this darkness. Just a couple little strokes there, boom. Okay? And there's our door. I could even go a little darker here. Try to exaggerate it more. And exaggerate this line more. go a little darker here. You see more of a transition to the light, or to the medium there. Now let's say I was going to make a window. It's going to be the exact same shape as this, because that's the side it's on, but smaller. So again, side, straight up and down, because it's parallel to that. The other side of the window, straight up and down, because it's parallel to this. Top of the window has to be parallel to this. Bottom of the window, parallel to this. You see it's mimicking the exact shape of the wall it's on. Once it shows up, stop. Then I'm going to darken it the same way I did the door. But the opposite, because this is now closer here on this side. So up and down till it's dark, but not as dark as that, and stop. This one's up and down, darker than this, because it's closer than that, but not as dark as that. See what I'm saying? And now I'm going to fade it from this medium to the slightly dark here, so it gets shorter and shorter. Stop. Back and forth, shorter, shorter, stop. And there's an example of turning that cube into a house. And there are other things you could do with the cube as well. Just to show you real quick. Remember our bad example? Alright, let's say, do a real quick one here. And then we had our cube. Try to make that lighter. Alright, instead of triangles, you could do, say, arches like that. And then connect the tops. Right, and then you have yourself like a treasure chest. So there's other things you can do with the cube. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I'll see you later.